This time on Street Rat Garage, everything you wanted to know about bidding online. So almost every time that I put out an auction video, someone asks me, where can I go and bid on these cars like you do? What auction site is that? How do I bid on that? Well, I have in the past made some videos about where and how to bid on it, but it's been a while and those videos are older, and at least one of the auctions has changed names, so it is time for a refresher course. Now behind me are some examples of just a few of the vehicles that I have bought in online auctions. So let's have a look real quick. This first one right here, it is my 2014 Chevy Tahoe. This I drive pretty much on a regular basis. This is this is what I work out of. It was hit right here in the B pillar, and you can see the door is damaged there. There was a door that was a different color. We swapped it out, put a door that's the same color on it now, but I only paid $1,200. I think it was $1,100 and some change, but $1,200. We'll round it out for this. 5.3 liter. This side looks a whole lot better, but perfectly fine, runs and drives, super cheap. This one come from the Indianapolis or Indiana Auto Auction. We'll look that up. Anyway, that's the local one here. And this, I bid $500, 500 and some odd dollars on this one. This runs, it drives perfectly fine. Online auction, online auction. This one also comes from govdeals.com. We paid just a hair over $2,000. This is a 2014 Dodge Charger. The truck was like a, I don't remember, like a 93 2.3 liter stick. This is a 5.7 liter Hemi engine, runs and drives just fine. Nothing wrong with this car, except maybe the hood's beat up a little bit, and we'll change this out. This got a lot of little dings on the hood. I want to change this out, but we're going to eventually sell all of these vehicles. But I drive that one. These two are going to be up for sale as soon as they're finished being cleaned up. So govdeals.com, Indiana or Indianapolis Auto Auction, govdeals.com, and there's one more auction that we'll go through. I don't have a car from it right here, but it's Artura, and that's all over the country. There's quite a few sites on it. So we will go inside now, and we're going to have a look at these auction sites, and I will go through and I will explain to you where they're located, how you can bid, all that fun stuff. So let's go back inside and get started. All right, we're back inside, so let's Google up some of these websites and see how they work. So the first one we are going to look at is govdeals.com. So let's pull that up real quick. Right here, govdeals.com. All you have to do is go up into your browser, type in www.govdeals.com. Pulls it right up. This is what the website, the front page looks like. Now, right here, instead of having my name on it, it's going to have sign in. So when you go in and you sign in, you're going to fill out your name and all the pertinent information. Some of these you have to put in identification, so be prepared for that. I can't remember if this one GovDeals does or not, but some of them you do. It's been a while since I created this account, and I have others. So anyway, once you get signed up, then what I like to do, this is the front page. That's my watch list right there with the stuff I'm looking at. Come down here to advanced searches. You can also do search at assets, but this is a little easier for me, and probably be for you too. So there's several different ways that you can search. Keywords. So if you just want to search anywhere, you can come down here, and this is one I've already searched for. That's not spelled right. But say you want to search for Crown Victoria. Victoria, and come down here and hit search. Now, what's going to happen is you're going to get all the Crown Victorias all of them from everywhere. So there's pages and pages and pages of Crown Victorias. Yes, there are still a lot of Crown Victorias. Well, there's not pages. There's 3 pages of Crown Victorias that that you can look through. But these are all over the place. Georgia, Columbia, South Carolina, Texas, Georgia, Jersey, Tennessee again, Jacksonville, and Carolina, and there's Ohio, but South Carolina. Most of these are southern states. And I'm guessing the reason there are so many Crown Vics in the southern states is because, well, in the northern states, we have a lot of rust. And the Crown Victorias, well, they didn't do so good in rust. Notice there's no states like North South Dakota or Kansas or not even Indiana. There's no Indiana. There's definitely no Michigan. So no upper East Coast either. So no more Crown Victorias in those areas. You want a Crown Victoria, you're going to have to go south. Probably the closest north one is looks like Lebanon, Kentucky. But I'd look at the Georgias. So if you're down south, you still have some Crown Vics left. This is not going to be for very long, definitely. But if you want to narrow it down a little bit, you can do that as well. Categories, you can search by, you know, aircrafts and vehicles and machinery. If you're looking for stuff like that, you can come up here and search for the exact year, make, and model of vehicle that you want. And you can search by locations. Well, actually, this should just be US or Canada because, yeah, see, Canada, US. So you can search in Canada as well if you're up there in the cold states, you can search there. And city and province, Indiana if you want, or whatever province they have up there in Canada. But this right here, this is the way I like to search. But I come down here and do radius. Let's say radius. Let's say let's say 50 miles. 50 miles of 46203, which would be approximately the center of Indiana. So 50 miles outside of Indiana, Indianapolis. And just come down here, hit search button. Boom. What do we have? Like I said, they have other things. You can buy a side-by-side. You can buy a sewing machine. You can buy owner's manuals for an F-250. Tennis shoes, coins, microscopes, stuff, more stuff, and even more stuff. But let's search through here and find a car. There is a way to sort this. Let's see. Closing soon, location, current bids. Somewhere, I can't remember where it's at now, but you can search by price highest. I usually go price highest. I'm usually doing this on my phone and formatted a little bit different. But I usually do the high price things so I can come up here into the range that I want. So let's look at this truck real quick, just for an example. This truck is located in Indianapolis, Indiana, of course, because that's close to where we're searching. And it belongs to the State of Indiana Fleet Service, a place that I have bought a few vehicles from before. So you'll look here, you'll see you have a 2016 Dodge Ram, and it closes in 21 hours and has a bid of $2,026, which seems kind of cheap with not a whole lot of time remaining, but it does have 23,527 miles on it, which is kind of high. It belonged to DNR, Department of Natural Resources. Check engine lights on with a tapping noise. Tap, 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 tap. Hemi tap, 5.7, buyer beware. So, yeah, those Hemis, they not the best. Once they get that Hemi tick in it, that's going to cost you a few $1,000s to fix that. So that's why the price is so low on this one. Anyway, back to it. We can also come down here when we see something we like and a place that we like. We can look at seller's other items. We can click on view, and this will bring up everything that they have for sale. Now, this is a fleet service, so they mainly have, well, they have vehicles. There's the Ram. Oh, look, there's a 2002 Suburban. That's cool. They just listed this one. It only has a $100 bid on it, but that's might be something we can look at later. F-150, a Exploder, a Ram. That only has $1,500 on it, and a walk-behind lawnmower. $232, 4 days. That's not bad either. I mean, save that up until springtime comes around. You make some money off of that, but that's neat. So that's how you do that. We can go back to advanced searches again. And what else can we do here? Miles, we can search by price. So we can actually, we can put in, $500 to, $5,000 and pull up, stuff in that price range. The seller, we can select our own seller. So if we want to do any Indianapolis or Indiana fleet service, we can put that in there and then hit search. So that's pretty much all the ways you can search. You can hit display map as well, so you can see where some of these places are located. But this is my favorite right here. Just put in within X amount of miles and your zip code, and then resort it by price highest first, and that'll bring up, and you can scroll through till your price range and hit just what you want to hit. Okay, so that is it. GovDeals.com, a liquidity services marketplace. Yes, English. Now, the one thing about GovDeals.com, you would think that it is run by the government. No, it is a private industry, a private individual industry, a company that allows the municipalities to market on their website. So it's not run by the government, but the government does put their vehicles on there. But these are individual entities also themselves. It could be the state of Indiana. It could be the city of Indianapolis. It could be a school district within the city. It could be a township within the city. Any government agency, but they're all responsible to sell their own vehicles. So state of Indiana, they sell their vehicles. The school districts, they sell their vehicles. The township, they sell their vehicles. The county, they sell their vehicles. So everybody's selling their own. There's different rules that you have to follow. So you have to go on here, and before you bid, there's a big long disclaimer list, and it tells you what is required of you in order to bid on these vehicles. So some of them, they have a buyer's fee. It might be 7%, might be 12%. So make sure you know what the buyer premium is, or they call it a processing fee or whatever word they use for it. There's always a little percentage that they get a kickback off of. So state of Indiana, I know it's 7%. I've seen some that were like 12%. Look at that. And there's different ways that you have to pay for these things too. Some take money orders, some take checks, some takes money orders and checks. Few of them actually take PayPal. A lot of them will take all of those things and wire transfers. Some of them will only take wire transfers. Some of them take wire transfers, X amount of dollars and up has to be a wire transfer. So, but one thing they have in common is most of them will do a wire transfer. But if you get lucky, they'll do PayPal. I like to do PayPal. It's just so quick and easy. Boom, and you go pick it up. In the state of Indiana, they like to do money orders or cashier's check. That's their favorite thing right there. But that is something you have to read through the fine print before you bid on it, so you know how you pay for it. So if you don't want to do wire transfers, definitely read it so you don't make a mistake and get caught up in that mess. But that is GovDeals.com. That's one of the ones that I like the most. That's probably the place where I've bought the most vehicles from. That Tahoe we looked at, that 14 Dodge Charger that we looked at, and if you look at my videos, you'll see several other vehicles we bought off GovDeals.com. So GovDeals.com. Now let's move on. Now for one that's a little more traditional. The Indiana Public Auto Auction. So this is more of a traditional one, and it used to be a in-person auction. You know, they run the lanes, and COVID happened. They did what everybody else did. They went online. So they've never come back. But I talked to them, and they said that, yeah, eventually they're going to get back, and they're working on it as we speak. But for now, still online. Now, let's have a look here, and I will run you through this one. All right, so this is Indiana Public Auto Auction. Just type that in the browser too, Indiana Public Auction. And this is the front page. This is their little logo right here, so you know you're at the right place. Now, on this front page, there's going to be another sign up window. I can't remember where it's located, but it'll be up there. You'll see it. You won't have a choice because you can't do anything until you sign up. Now this one does have some more restrictions. You are going to have to download an ID for sure, and I believe there's a form of payment like a bank card or credit card that has to be attached to this account. So if that's not what you're into, this might not be for you, but I have it set up and I use it, and it's worked just fine. Even though I've only bought like 2 cars from them, it still worked with no problems. So I like attaching my credit card because all I have to do is hit a button, boom, it goes through. I don't have to mess with any form of payments. I just go fill out my paperwork. Anyway, so once you're signed up, you just come down here and you can see the auction calendars. This is the auction fees. So that's one thing you're going to want to look at. Here are all the auction fees for this site, and you're going to want to keep these in mind because they're not displayed on the auction window when you're bidding. So you can get carried away and get a lot of fees on your auctions. So $0 to $500 is $125. 0 to 1,000, or sorry, 500 to 1,000, $195, and goes up to $5,000 where it's $355. Then it just jumps to 8% of whatever your fee is. Now, there's an internet fee right here, which I am not a fan of this $69 internet fee. Why is that? Because I have no choice. I'm being charged for being on the internet when I would go and bid in person if I had the opportunity, but I don't have the opportunity, so I have to pay the $69. Oh well, it is what it is, but here's your fees. Keep those in mind while you are bidding. Back up here. And now, auction calendars. They just have it listed for 2 weeks. So our next auction today is Friday, and this is October. The next one's on Tuesday. They're on every Tuesday. This one coming up is on the 15th. We did our auction fees. View inventory, and there's 116 vehicles available. So we can click on this, and then we can look at all the vehicles, and apparently boats or catamaran, whatever you call this guy right here, are available. Oh, look, there's a camper. Now this looks like a FEMA camper back from the days of Hurricane Katrina, because they were all white. They had no stickers on them or anything. So that might be what that is. That might have came back up from the Gulf down there. So you can usually get these pretty cheap. They're pretty basic inside. But anyway, well, this is a 2005. So when was Katrina? Was that about was about the time, wasn't it? So yeah, that might be. Anyway, get off track here. So we can just come here and browse. A little scooter right there. This was actually in one of my other videos. Did not get any bids. It doesn't run. It's a $700 scooter. It didn't even get a $100 bid on that one. That one should probably just be given to somebody. But anyway, I digress. So search through here, your BMWs, your Buicks. These usually are in alphabetical order. Cadillacs, and so on and so on, Chevys, all that good stuff. But they have some good cars out here, and even some school buses, you know, if you're into a school or whatever. So yeah, I like that too. Okay, well, I'm getting sidetracked here. I really like looking at all these cars. I could browse through these for, you know, hours. And you can do the same. Look, there's a Charger. It has some front end damage, a 13, and it's got a $2,100 bid on it, which is not bad. I mean, that's the amount that we paid for that Charger that I showed you before. That mine's a 14. So, you know, you can sell cars. Maybe if this one goes for good money, maybe I'll take mine and run it through this sale. So if this gets like $4,000 or something on it, I would definitely bring mine and try to sell it. Now, the good thing about this auction is, well, when you do the paperwork, you get a temporary tag with your vehicle, so you can immediately drive it right off the lot and be ready to go. Now we have our third and final web page, which there's a lot more than just 3, but these are the 3 that I use the most. These are the 3 that you will find most on my channel. So it's called Artura, A-U-T-U-R-A, Artura. So it used to be called Joyride Auto, joyride.com, and they changed names. So that's one of the reasons that we're redoing this, because the video that I had before was, you know, all about joyride.com, and they have changed names, and actually the place in Indianapolis has changed locations. So we're going to update all of that on this one. Now, Artura, it's in several different places. It's not all the way across the country, but is in several different places across the country, if that makes any sense to you. So let's have a look here, and we can see what's going on. So let's see what we got here. We have Indiana, the city or the state of Indiana, and the city of Indianapolis. So under that, we have the auctions that are currently in Indianapolis. Now, these are the auctions that I attend. The Indianapolis Public Auction, Impound, Indianapolis Impound Public Auction. The next one is October the 17th, and they have 186 vehicles. They always have a lot of vehicles here in Indianapolis. This is a bigger city, so a lot of impounded, a lot of wrecked vehicles. And they also have a restricted auction for these. This is just for salvage license. So, but every week, this is the same day, by the way, every week that they will have an auction at the Indianapolis Public Impound Auction here. So another one on the 24th, another one on the 31st. So they're going to have one on Halloween. That ought to be interesting. But we can just come in here and hit view, and we'll go through the other cities as well later. But October the 17th, 2024, and these are the vehicles that are going to be for sale. So you can just scroll through here, and you will notice, yes, there are a lot of wrecked vehicles. There's also a lot of them that are not wrecked. So some of these are impounded vehicles. Some of these are wrecked vehicles. What I like about Indianapolis, if you click on this, they give you a lot of information just in the pictures. So they'll put a sign on here, and the sign usually says when in the gear. Now, we know a lot about that. If it goes into gear, well, guess what? It runs. But they do have more information here. On the little tag, it will show the mileage. This one has 146,000 miles. It has the year. Does it have keys? Yes, it has keys. Does the engine run? Yes, it runs. Note, it went into gear. If it does not go into gear, it will say that. And it will also give pictures. You can see this one was slightly damaged, but it still went into impound. They might not have had a driver's license when they wrecked this car. And, you know, they weren't supposed to be driving it. It got impounded just for that little wreck. So you can put that back together, and no big deal. Now, there is a video that they play, and we won't go through all that, but they'll do a walk around, and they'll show you the inside real quick. So they do a pretty good job. Not everyone does this good a job at showing you the vehicle, so they want to show you as much as they can. So that is Artura there, and Indiana. That's the Indiana, excuse me, the Indiana Metro. So we can go back now and look and see what other cities and states we have. Like I said, Indiana before, Illinois, and their city is Chicago that they have them in. But the thing with Chicago is everything is restricted. Yeah, so the normal guy, you just can't bid on anything in Chicago. Maybe they'll have something coming up later, but they used to have some open to the public, but now they don't. Anyway, we skip down to Tennessee. So you guys down in Tennessee, Nashville, they usually have one each and every week as well. I don't think they always have quite as many, but they usually have a pretty fair amount down there in Nashville. Nashville cars are, you know, less rusty. And we skip down here to Missouri, Kansas City, Missouri, not to be confused with Kansas City, Kansas. And looks like, I have never been here, but looks like they have one a month, maybe October. There's another one in November. 38 vehicles they have coming up, so that's not a whole lot. Well, they list their fees different as well. These are different bid platforms. So this is like govdeals.com, where you have to look and see what the individual company is doing. This is just Artura is just a platform for these people to put their services on. So Jay Southland Towing, they're an individual. Indianapolis Impound Lot, they're an individual, and they charge different rates. So these are the rates for the amount bid, which 0 to 200, 300, 400, 500, 700. It's only $80 right there. And remember the Indiana Auto Auction, it was a lot higher than that. So that's not bad at all. They got motorcycles, they got some trucks, they got some crash cars. Pretty much just the same thing as Indianapolis does, just not quite as many, but probably not as rusty. So you might want to go down there and check that out. I'll get down there one of these days. I haven't been only to the Indianapolis one, but we'll go down there one of these days. So let's back out of that. And what other cities? Indianapolis, Illinois, Nashville, Missouri. Oh, that was Missouri. That wasn't Nashville. I was thinking Nashville, but we can go to Missouri too. It's not far away. Pennsylvania, Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. Looks like they have one once a month as well. Texas, Fort Worth, and Austin, and Armadillo, or Amarillo, Texas. Excuse me. Sorry for everybody that lives in Amarillo and not Armadillo. San Antonio, Texas. El Paso, Texas. El Paso. And then we can come down here to Arizona and good old Phoenix, Arizona, which only 26 vehicles here. Huh, I thought they would have more. Phoenix is a pretty big city, but this is probably a small towing lot. Then we have California. There's a lot in California. San Bernardino, San Diego, Orange County, LA. You would think LA probably has, they're not listed, one vehicle. That's it. I was thinking way, way more. Oh, well, Modesto. I've been to Modesto before. Not much out there. A lot of desert. And San Jose, and the Bay Area, San Francisco Bay Area. I would go there. They probably have a few good buys. I don't know. I've never bought a car in California. I don't know how weird it is. So definitely check the states and the rules. That's another thing that you have to keep in mind. If you're not bidding in your own state, you're going to want to call them up and make sure that the paperwork, find out what kind of paperwork it is, and then check with your local license branch and make sure that they will process the paperwork from an out-of-state auction assignment. Because like in Indiana, they give you a form. It's a certificate to get a title. It's not the actual title. It's sort of a court-ordered paperwork sort of deal. It's just one form. You take it to the license branch and they process it. Here in Indianapolis, the license branches in Indianapolis deal with this all the time, because you can see they have well over 100 vehicles that go through each and every week. So there's a whole 100 people going around to all the Indianapolis license branches and doing this paperwork. I've taken mine out of the city and had some problems trying to process it, but it got done because, you know, it's just the way they do it. I can't imagine if I took that out of state and tried to process it. It probably could get done, but it would definitely be a headache and probably a few phone calls and an hour's worth of time. But here in Indianapolis, boom, it gets done real quick. So maybe you can process it in the same state, but call them up, see what the paperwork is, so you don't get caught up in that mess. So that is the Artura website. So you can sign up for any of these. The sign up for that, I think it also requires some ID and a form of payment on that one, because they ask for $100, at least on the Indianapolis one, they ask for a $100 prepayment before you bid, because a lot of people do not follow through. And if you don't follow through, they're going to take that deposit, and they're not going to give you back that $100, deposit. So make sure that you follow through on your bid. Once a bid is saying that you're going to buy that vehicle. So I'm sure some of the other dealers, the other auction houses have that same thing. They're going to want a form of payment. So when you sign up, before you bid, see if you have to put down some credit card information so they can bill you if you don't follow through. So that is that's the auction platforms. Now, another one that I do go to, I'm not going to show it on here, but it's the Kessler Schaefer Auto Auction. And it is mostly a dealer-only auction, but once every 2 or 3 months, they sell stuff from the Indianapolis Police Department and a few other police departments that aren't on govdeals.com. So they already are contracted to do that. So IMPD, the Indianapolis Metro Police Department, they sell their police vehicles. The Marion County Sheriff's Department also sells their vehicles there. I think like the city of Greenfield and a few other cities, they also sell their stuff through there. But that's only once every 2 or 3 months. That's the Kessler Schaefer Auto Auction in Indianapolis on the northwest side. So you can look that up. They'll have a calendar there, and there is one coming up, I think, in it's either 1 or 2 weeks from this date, which is October the 11th today. So a couple weeks, I think it's the 3rd week in October. I think it's on a Thursday. So look for that if you're looking for some police vehicles or city vehicles or county vehicles. So that is going to do it. That's going to wrap it up for this episode of Street Rat Garage. Until next time.